What's up, dudes and dudettes of the internet? My name's Scythe, and today we're going to be taking a look at Duskers. How y'all doing today, folks? Hope you're doing fantastically wonderful. Before we get started, let me just tell you, links are going to be in the description for everything that is to do with this game. And although I don't really see this game in itself being very popular just because of the way that it's designed and everything like that, I do want to say that this game is actually really cool and very unique, and you don't see something like that very often these days. So we're gonna go into the drone operator training, and then we'll go into the single player just so I can kind of show you and give you an idea. So the whole point of the game is that our character, ourselves, like us playing this game, is actually supposed to be behind a computer screen, and we're typing commands out to these drones while being in outer space and not knowing exactly what's going on, right? So you got these drones, and you know, it's very stylized and kind of cool how you actually explore the world, but you can see it's kind of like sensors and stuff like that. So it's kind of just to add to the lore of all of that. So right now we're just controlling this one drone with the arrow keys because you use the rest of the keys for typing commands, and you can swap over to the other drone as well. I don't know if you end up getting more of them later on. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but you can always press space and go to a cinematic view. Now we get to see the entirety of the level, which of course isn't fully explored. Over there on the left you can see R1, which is room 1. That's where our bots are right now, and A1 is going to be the first door. So they're trying to tell us open A1, so that ended up opening the door. Now we can press space and come right back to it. And we're gonna wanna bring drone 2 into this derelict spacecraft area because we ended up finding a power outlet, right? So we just type generator, which is one of this drone's abilities, is seen in the top left-hand corner. Because each of the drones has their own different abilities and stuff like that. And now that we've actually put power into this spacecraft, we can see the rest of the rooms. So there's lots of aspects of this that really remind me of Five Nights at Freddy's. They even did hint at the fact that there's kind of like, it's kind of like everything's just kind of gone, you know, like the whole universe is just kind of like, what happened? And that's where your character, or you yourself, are kind of trying to discover that while exploring spaceships and using these drones and stuff like that. And then periodically you'll kind of hear these weird noises and kind of hints at aliens and stuff like that, but you never actually see them. Maybe you do later in the game, I don't know, but I just really like the idea of it. So you got shortcut commands too, where if you end up typing something in, it's gonna auto complete the word, and you just press space or tab or something like that to end up doing that. So navigate 1 is going to be telling the first drone to navigate, and R3 is room 3, because the D4, which is the next doorway, is already open, and they're trying to instruct us, you don't want to open D2 right now because you don't know what's in the next room. You gotta be careful about that because there are hostiles, and I mean, essentially you could be playing the entire game in this menu outside of obviously needing to, you know, go into these rooms and try to see whether or not there's anything interesting like this right here, the fuel access point, because you can't see that. Oh, maybe you can. Okay, well, maybe we ended up discovering it on the schematics. But anyways, we type gather, which is another command of this guy, and we're gathering some fuel and stuff like that that we're going to be able to end up using, I'm assuming, for just transporting maybe to the other levels and stuff like that. And then also, let's see if room 4 is safe. So we're going to go to the schematics room and type motion, which is another command that the first drone has. As you can also see in the top right, it shows all of their abilities. So red in room 4 indicates that there is something hostile in there, so we gotta watch out for that and try to end up getting into that room without a problem. So we're gonna navigate drone number 1 back to room 2. And then we're also going to type in D4, which is going to end up closing the door behind us, and D5 to open it. Also, as you can see too, with the motion command, it's actually got 50 uses. So let's use it again. Now we see that whatever it is, the hostile forces that be, ended up going into room 3, so we can close room 5 or door 5, open door 2, navigate 1 to room 4, and as you can kind of see, like, this is kind of what I mean by I don't really see this game appealing to the masses, let's say, but to a very small part, you know, it's a really cool game. You know, it ends up having, like I said, it's very unique, right? Drone recommended command info. Okay, there's a destroyed drone on the ground. We can end up typing swap. So we can see that it has lure, which drops the lure, which attracts nearby organic threats. I'm assuming that you would have to use that in the main game or something like that to end up luring a threat into another room, or maybe it ends up getting really, really bad where you would have to, excuse me, I bumped the mic there, I don't know if it'll show up. Maybe it'll get bad where you have to leave a lure down and then go in and do stuff while it's still in there. I don't know. But either way, we stole that upgrade from the other drone now, right? So now it's just trying to tell us that we can get them all to leave, and by using a command, drone navigate 1 and 2 to room 1. So that's actually just going to send both of our drones all the way back. And there's also ship upgrades and stuff like that. Not exactly sure how the main game plays because I have only played through the tutorial, and then I thought, okay, I'm just going to jump right into it just so I can kind of have the same experience with all of you. So type exit, and then we return to the mothership, and now we're already out. I keep out of habit trying to use the mouse to select all this stuff, but that, again, is kind of a cool thing about this game is you can't actually use the mouse. So we're going to click P, which it's got shortcut commands for everything, and go to play. So accessing log, passive controls. It's kind of like those old RPGs, like text-based RPGs of old, but ends up being something unique, you know? So emergency distress sequence, fuel low, 6 days, crew size 1. Yes, let's activate the distress signal. I wonder what would happen if we said no. 4 vessels detected, recommended course of action, initiate manual contact with the vessels and acquire necessary resources for travel. Let's do it. Again, too, like, I'm very interested to see whether or not, would you like to read? Okay, sure. Whether or not we end up, like, coming across, like, aliens and stuff like that. But the whole fact of the matter is that this game has insane lore. Like, there's just something about the premise that I really, really like about it. And in all honesty, I would actually love to see as a movie, right? You know? Gather intel logs. This was the summary of their objectives. Gather resources for survival, search for survival. If the objectives aren't completed, initiate reset. Okay, are they telling us to do that? Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I guess we'll just board the one that we're on right now. Okay, I guess this is where we would be choosing our drones. We can have a total of 4 out in the field at a time, have our inventory, and have reserves as well. This menu right here very much reminds me of that game that I ended up playing. It was a zombie game, like Death of Canada or something like that, or a Death Road to Canada or something. I don't know. The title was really evil, but the game itself was just a pixel zombie game. Very, very cool. And a lot of those aspects of that game just remind me of this one, just with the intensity of the interfaces and the calculations and stuff like that. So we're at a cold star, hull integrity, age 26 for the ship too. So cool, man. Like, I love the amount of lore. I mean, I'm also kind of a sucker when it comes to, like, space stuff, right? Navigation, use control plus arrow keys for history, cursor movement, F8 to toggle control plus and down for the font size. Okay, well, let's just open A1. And let's try and get our first drone. Aha, so this is actually our ship right here. Okay, well, let's navigate our first drone into here, and it looks like we got power outlet, which was, oh, this guy doesn't have the generator. That's our second one. Yeah, so I don't know if the shapes of these drones actually means anything as far as their powers are concerned, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Okay, let's take a peek. So we've got all of that stuff. That's all good. Let's actually use our motion right now just so we can see. Don't have anything in room 4 or room 5, but we do actually have something right beside a scrap. Aha, so we can gather that. Let's set him off to do that. This guy's got tow and interface. Oh, so we could actually take resources, I guess, from other ships or something. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Oh, D4 is already opened. Aha, okay. Well, we'll leave that guy on the generator, and we'll send this guy in to kind of see what's what, right? What do we got in here? Anything cool? Oh, what's this? Drone recommended command info. Okay. Why are they trying to tell us to use info? Cannot use tow on the destroyed drone. Ah, so that's what you would end up salvaging as other drones, right? Okay, well, let's try swap and let's see what he's got. He's got Sonic and Shield. Oh my goodness. So Sonic is a pulse that repels organic threats, and Shield activates and deactivates a shield. Okay. What about this guy? How many cases or how many slots did he have is what I was wondering, which this guy's got a few, but he's controlling the generator, so we don't want to end up using that. I guess let's take the Sonic then. See what we can end up doing with that. So I'm assuming that we would end up, let's do motion again. Okay, so it looks like all the rooms are safe. Now, what I was assuming is that maybe we could use the Sonic to kind of push one of the creatures into the other rooms. But anyways, that's okay. Let's do this. Send him in here. I know that we shouldn't end up using our motion as much as I have been, but I am. This one is gather, right? Try gather all on oh, gather all. Okay. So we can end up using that to just set him to gather everything? What is this? Isn't this just gather all again? Yeah, it is. Okay, well, I guess the bot didn't actually detect it. Maybe he only saw it like out of the corner of his eye or something like that. We're just going to use another motion here just because I'm overly paranoid about craziness going on. And that's okay. It doesn't really matter that much anyways. Because we're, you know, probably going to be calling it after just doing this tutorial area. All right. So, or tutorial area, the first level, which is kind of the tutorial, I guess. D3, and it looks like that's already it. We didn't seem to find much of anything. So let's navigate 1 and 2 and 3. Oh, okay. Thank goodness we don't have to type end. So let's just do all of that, send all of them to room 1, be on our merry way, and thank you so much for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Check the links in the description. Again, this is a very cool type of game, and if I had a little bit more personal time, I would probably end up playing through it. But then again, like I said, I'm kind of a sucker when it comes to space and lore and stuff like that. Either way, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. It helps me out more than you know. Sign off and stay epic, everybody.